So those of you who have been here before know this video looks a little different. And let me tell you a funny story about why that is. So here I am just minding my own business, working on my next video, and I have this process where I get all the footage for the video, which is about 3 hours. It's the game planning, the recruiting, all that stuff. I edit it down, so I condense it to around a 20-minute video. I do the scripting, I do the voiceover, I put in the music, I export it to YouTube, then I delete it from my hard drive and move it to the cloud so that I'm not taking up a lot of storage. Some of you are seeing where this is going. Well, this week's game against Navy, I followed all my normal steps. I just didn't export the video to YouTube, and I thought, surely the next time I sit down, I will not forget to do this. Well, the next time I sat down, I was clearing my hard drive to make room for my next upload. And then after like 15 minutes of going through that process, I realized I think I've deleted the footage of the Navy game completely off my computer and out of my recycle bin. Some of you may be wondering why I don't back up my files, because I'm the kind of person who thinks these kind of things will never happen to them. I tried every recovery method you could think of. I asked ChatGPT for solutions. I was able to recover a lot of old videos, just not the footage from the Navy game. So I got the UTSA game, I got the Tulane game, but I couldn't get the footage from the Navy game. So you're stuck with me on this one. It was an amazing game too. This is the part that I'm so disappointed about. We won 52-13. We probably had our best game plan ever. And you know it was a good game because Dakota Mills got a pick six from the slot. So our corner, he was having some difficulty from the regular corner spot, but he was killing it. David DePaul hasn't thrown a pick this season. We got our backup quarterback in, Bryce Frost, who from Exeter, New Hampshire, sophomore, same high school as Ty Hardy, who's our backup running back who got some playing time. So they got to get in. It was great. It was so cool to see. I had this perfect thumbnail that I'm going to use, that I'm definitely going to use on a future video. So that's this one here. You can see what this looks like. Shout it out when you see it on the next video, because we're just going to end up using it again later. But that's the situation. I did think it would be pretty cool if I showed you like how much actually goes into these videos too, because I don't know if you all are aware of this, but this is basically the editing process. And I love doing this, so this is not like a knock, but it literally takes me like 10 hours to put something like this together, between the filming of it and the editing and everything else. So here's what you get. You see how all these things here are like, well, there's no video here because we don't know where you're pulling this source. So it's just having a backfield with Cameron Teague and Bo Jackson has been fun for Bologna State. If they want to keep the good times rolling. And that's the whole video. So I'm truly disappointed. I don't want to leave you empty-handed. So I think we should at least chat a little bit about the game plan. But we're going to use the whiteboard and do it for real. And then we'll talk a little bit about next week's game. All right. So we're going to draw some happy little offensive linemen here. So the real goal of a triple option is, it's very similar actually to what we're doing offensively with the single back stuff, is that we're trying to create a body mismatch somewhere. So this is obviously a balanced formation. If I were to draw a line right through the middle, I have the same amount of guys on this side as I have on this side. And so what I'm trying to do then is mismatch the defense so that I can create a numbers advantage, right? So what typically will happen is like this guy will go in a short motion, or this guy will go in a short motion, or something to that effect, and then we're going to run triple option, which that could be a whole nother video. Actually, for those of you who downloaded the original Rigatoni playbook, I have triple option in it because I think it's actually a pretty neat way to play football. David DePaul just can't execute it, so there's no value there. So what we do is we run this diamond front, which you all have seen quite a bit. I like TNT there, right? Tackle, nose, tackle. And then our Mike linebacker. Why is this so effective? Well, basically it just makes the blocking angles, like if we were to remove these guys from the picture just for right now and just leave it to the offensive line and then these guys, it makes it really hard to block. Like if we have our the way we run it, we have this Sam here and then the Will linebacker here. You just can't block all these guys. Like you can double here and try to get to him, and block here and block here and block here, but then this guy's just wide open, right? Or you could try to block this way, so you've got him and him, but then no one can get to the mic, right? It just creates really bad blocking angles for a single back running game. The way you defend a two back running game is completely different. And we're not going to talk about that because I know Baloney Tech is watching these videos, so we're not trying to give away too much info here. So if we go back to the triple option, basically the whole goal of this is to try to create a numbers advantage. So what we're going to do defensively is we run in the game. It's called Penny, and actually these should really be Sam and Will, and then we have our boss, and then we have our strong safety, and then we've got free corner. So it's called Penny. There's like 3-3 cub. It's all the same thing, but it still incorporates this diamond front in the middle. And if you draw a line directly through this defense, you'll notice we are also balanced. We have the same number of players on the right as we do on the left. I drew that out of the frame there. So the whole purpose of this then is whatever they try to do, like if this guy moves, then there's like a rotation that happens here, and we continue to have our numbers advantage. If this guy moves, then there's a rotation that happens here, and we still have our numbers advantage. Like we never lose that leverage that we need. And then we can just run cover 3 out of this. It doesn't have to be anything super crazy, especially because they don't have a significant passing threat. And the free safety kind of knows his job is to watch triple. So typically how you run triple option, I'm not going to run a full gambit on this because, again, this could be a whole nother video. You want to run triple either to an open 3 technique or to a 5 technique, which is going to be one of these two guys. Well, this is not really open in here because we've got this diamond front, right? So the nose is right here. It makes it difficult to run triple to the 3 technique. And when I talk about a 3 technique, you should know that just means he's on the outside shade of the guard. That's what a 3 technique means. So he's lined up there. When we run our trap plays, we like to run it into that 3 technique because it creates a good angle. So basically, what I'm trying to say here is you're going to run triple. You can either run midline or you can run veer. These are your 2 triple option plays. Midline means we're attacking the 3 tech, and veer means we're attacking the 5 tech. It's the exact same play. That is not good handwriting. It's the exact same play essentially, but it moves who you're going to attack slightly. So if we're running veer, what we're going to do is double into the nose, and the option game is going to happen in this direction. And we're actually not going to block this guy. That's a mistake. He should be coming down this way. So the option is happening on the 5 technique. If you're running midline, the option is happening here where you don't block this guy. And so the whole point of option, for context, is quarterback is coming down hard. This guy, let's say, is coming in motion. We're not going to block this guy at all. If he comes down to take away the running back, then the quarterback keeps it and he keeps running. If he stays flat where he is, we give it to the running back, and we should have some pretty easy yardage here. That's the option game, right? If he does come down, quarterback keeps, and then we're running a second option against this guy. So that when this guy decides to take the quarterback, we're going to pitch it, and there shouldn't be anybody left. That's the idea with the triple option. If this guy decides to take the running back, the quarterback then keeps it, and again, there's just nobody left. That's the goal. So you have to be really disciplined to defend the option game, because if this guy doesn't rotate down and rotate over, I mean, there's tons of games they can play where this guy motions, but they actually run triple back this way. It's a lot to deal with. So I thought we had a great defensive game plan. Let's talk a little about offense. All right, so offensively, they were running what was called an even front. And you can run this out of the 3-4 or the 4-3. It's all the same. It's 2-3 techniques, how you've got here, right? And then these linebackers are called stacked, which means they're directly behind those 3 techniques. This defensive front makes it next to impossible for us to run power and run stretch. And I'll show you what I mean. Like if we try to run power into this, basically you're trying to down block on an end, which doesn't make any sense at all with your tight end. He's going to win that matchup every time. You try to work this double into the backer. You try to kick out here and you try to lead through here. Well, there's no hole in there. There's no hole to be had. You could try to maybe go around this end, but again, he's going to win this matchup 9 times out of 10, especially if you have a decent defensive end. And usually the flow of these guys, this double team makes it a little difficult. He can usually slide underneath there and kind of blow it up with some backside pursuit. Likely you're going to get the safeties coming down. It's just a lot of bodies in one spot that makes power really difficult to execute against this front. The same goes with stretch, right? So our stretch play, which we, Coach Rigatoni has made his fame on, it's hard to make consecutive reach blocks, right? Because he's got to reach to block this guy, he's got to reach to block this guy, and he's got to reach to block the tackle. So you have 3 consecutive reach blocks on the end to try to get that edge, and you're leaving this guy still unblocked. There's no way the center is going to be able to pick him up. So he's really trying to just get hands here and maybe pick up the backside pursuit. So now you've got the fullback, and this is really a 4th consecutive reach block. It makes a stretch almost impossible. So we need a different plan is basically what we're going with here. But every defense has a weakness, and every offense has a weakness, so it's not like anything is perfect or unstoppable. I'm just going to redraw this because it's a little dirty here. And really the weakness of this defense is this bubble that exists kind of right in here. And then this backside edge. There's some angles that we can play with there. So this interior bubble, let's talk about this. And this is why it was so important that we went to a 2-back running game last week, because we need some angles that we can work with here. So I told you this guy's a 3 technique and this guy's a 3 technique, right? They're outside shade of the guard. Well, that makes this block easy to kind of wall him off this way because he's already on that side of the guard. And that makes this block easy, right, to wall him off on the other side. Then the center, typically the direction of the play we're going to go, he goes opposite. So if we're running ISO to the right, he's going to pick up this guy. When we say ISO, what that means is we're isolating the fullback on an inside linebacker. So that's what ISO is. And so that's your ISO. We can kick out the end. We can kick out over here. Look at this beautiful alley that we've just created now for us to run this inside ISO play. And we're just using the angles of the defense against themselves, right? They can't defend everything. When you're in an even front, the goal is to say, I don't want you to run power and I don't want you to run stretch. So if I continue to do that, I'm going to have a hard time. I have to adjust, and then ultimately it's on the defense to adjust back. Do they, go to a front that's a little bit harder to run ISO? That's kind of the cat and mouse game of football, right? Another play that we could run pretty effectively into this was counter. So if we wanted to run counter, we can down block here, work our way to the backer. He's able to pick him off. We can pull and kick, and then we redirect through here. You can see that same sort of alley exists. Running back is able to get a one-on-one against the free safety, which you like that matchup for your running back most of the time. One final play that we thought was effective and really not so much a play but a formation was, let me get rid of all these guys here so we can kind of clean this up a little bit. We have that, we have this. So we've been playing around with this fullback a lot, but if we bring the Z over, this is that ace slot formation is what they call it in the game. And the whole goal of this was to just try to manipulate the defense a little bit, right? So you can probably see even in this formation, well, who's covering this guy? The safety could come down, the corner could come over. There's a couple different options they have there. Or this guy would have to slide out. If this guy slides out, they're in a really bad spot because they've left this whole interior of their defense open. And that actually happened on one of the big touchdowns to Bo Jackson. And I wish you could have saw it because this guy slid out a little bit and we just ran an inside zone to the strong side. So we're able to kind of get the double here, working up to the backer that doesn't exist. We're able to seal this off. We read the double team. Double team gets beat this way. We go inside on this side, and we were off to the races. So it was a pretty good play against this even front. And then same thing, even if they stay where this backer is in here, we still have some good angles on this. Like we could run our trap play, which we kind of talked about earlier as being effective against a 3 technique. So if you look at this defensive front, we could run trap to the left side. We're not going to block this guy. We're not even going to touch him. We just go through. We've got great angles to block all these other guys. And then this guy pulls around and kicks him out. So typically what happens is he penetrates, realizes it's a trap, it's too late, and he gets walled off, and then he gets walled off, and he gets walled off, and the running back just runs right through that inside lane right there. So that was our plan of attack. It was 52-13. I could show you passing plays, I could show you all kinds of stuff, but that's enough for right now. The only thing I want to leave you with is next week's game. And the way I'm going to leave you with next week's game is we can, where is it? Hold on. Is hopefully this still loads the way I wanted it to. Yeah. Just listen in. I'm going to listen in with you because I want to make sure this is the way I want it to be. Here we go. I also didn't realize Taylor Harris looked this psychotic. So Taylor Harris did look like a psycho. But there's an evil presence looming. Week 8 for Bologna State means one thing. It's called Week Eat around here. And Week Eat is the biggest rivalry in all of college football. Bologna Tech and the Marinara Massacre. The Marinara Massacre, baby. It's coming next week. We are playing against Bologna Tech. And if you thought Bologna Tech was phony, we got news for you. So look out for the Marinara Massacre. I promise I will record it and make sure we get that footage for next week. I just want to thank everybody for your support. You guys have been unbelievable, and this has been such a fun ride for me, and I'm having so much fun making these videos. So please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. We will be back on the next one, I promise. Until next time, we'll see you there. Bye.